The Chicago Bears are deep into training camp, and yesterday marked the most physical day so far. A moment that has energized fans and players alike. The intensity on the field ramped up considerably, with live tackling introduced for the first time in this camp, a hallmark moment that always signals a shift in mindset for a team. For those of us who've played football or closely followed the game, that first contact practice is pivotal. It's when football truly comes alive. When the pads hit with a loud pop, and the physicality of the sport becomes tangible. It's a reminder that this game is not just about skill or strategy, but about toughness and resilience. The Bears, known for building their identity through physical play, seemed to embrace that approach yesterday, and it's encouraging to see the team leaning into that ethos early on. There were a few moments of friendly fire, as players laid each other out on the practice field with hard hits, but overall, the mood was one of determination and focus. Physical practices like this are essential because the Bears need to develop a clear identity, especially under a coaching staff that emphasizes toughness and competitiveness. You can't build a football team's character without pushing them physically, and the Bears seem to be on the right track with this approach. Yesterday's practice also saw the offense showing signs of life and cohesion. There's a growing buzz around Caleb Williams, who appears to be having one of his best training camp performances yet. This was a day where he looked sharper, more confident, and more in tune with the offensive system. The chemistry between him and the receivers, particularly DJ Moore and Cohen Loveland, is beginning to take shape, which bodes well for the offense's potential this season. Williams, entering his second year and working under a new offensive scheme, has clearly been putting in the work. The progress in his understanding of the playbook and his ability to execute has been evident, and it's exciting for Bears fans to see that development. Ben Johnson's influence as offensive coordinator is starting to show in how the offense moves and operates. There's an emphasis on getting the ball into the hands of playmakers in space, and DJ Moore in particular has been a focal point in that strategy. You could see more consistently put in motion, designed to create mismatches and leverage his strengths. This approach maximizes his impact and opens up the field, making the Bears' offense more dynamic and unpredictable. While DJ Moore isn't necessarily the most polished route runner, his ability to operate effectively in space is a major asset, and the coaching staff is smart to exploit that. Some fans have compared DJ Moore with Luther Burden, the young receiver, who is still finding his footing in the offense. It's important to understand that these comparisons don't have to be a zero-sum game. Both players bring unique skills and can thrive in their own right. Burden is still ramping up after missing time, and naturally, some of the timing and lineup issues are to be expected. But with time and consistent reps, the hope is that he'll smooth out those issues and start making the kind of impact that fans have been eager to see. On the offensive line, the left tackle competition is heating up. While it seemed like the Bears might take their time making a decision on the starter, there are signs that this process could accelerate. Both Azil Trapillo and Kieran Amagai have split first-team reps, but Trapillo stood out with a strong performance, notably going toe-to-toe with rookie edge rusher Dio Odingbo, and winning most of those battles. His consistent improvement and ability to hold his own against talented pass rushers are turning heads, and making a strong case for him to win the starting left tackle job sooner rather than later. Braxton Jones remains a contender and veteran presence in that competition, but Trapillo's rise has been impressive. It's clear the Bears coaching staff is closely watching how these players respond to the physicality and speed of NFL practice, and Trapillo seems to be passing those tests with flying colors. Switching gears to the defense, players stood out during yesterday's session. Safety Tasheen Johnson, a rookie UDFA, caught attention with his physical play and big hits in the 11-on-11 drills. Johnson's ability to make tackles near the sideline and in the middle of the field fired up the defense, showing that he's ready to compete for a spot in the secondary rotation. Given the injury history and uncertainties around Yaquin Brisker, as well as Kevin Bard's age, the Bears are keen on developing young talent at safety. Johnson's versatility and college production give hope that he could carve out a meaningful role, potentially playing alongside or even replacing Brisker in the future. The Bears have quietly done a great job with their undrafted free agents in recent years, and Johnson looks like another promising addition. Linebacker Ruben Hippoly also impressed, particularly with his speed and ability to break up passes in coverage, a skill that adds a valuable dimension to his game. Although initially seen primarily as a pass-rushing specialist on passing downs, Hippoly's ability to contribute in coverage opens up more opportunities for him on the field. Early in camp, Noah Sue may have had the edge for the strong side linebacker spot, but Hippley is showing that he can compete and grow into a more prominent role. His speed is a key asset, and if he continues to develop his coverage skills, he could become an important piece for the Bears' defense. Throughout training camp, it's become clear that the Bears are focused on building an identity, a cohesive team culture that emphasizes toughness, smart play, and maximizing the unique skills of their roster. While there's only so much you can learn in training camp, without live game reps against real opponents, the progress made so far is promising. The coaching staff's plan is beginning to take shape, and players are starting to excel in their roles. One player who has been quietly excelling and evolving is cornerback Kyler Gordon. Gordon's versatility under defensive coordinator Dennis Allen has been impressive. He is a Swiss Army knife for the defense, capable of lining up at multiple positions: outside corner, nickel, safety, and Dennis Allen's system is tailor-made to leverage a player with Gordon's skill set. Gordon himself has expressed excitement about this flexibility and the chance to learn every role and responsibility on the field. His statistical production last year was strong: 75 tackles for loss, multiple passes deflected, and fumble recoveries, despite not recording an interception. Under Allen, Gordon is poised for an even bigger role, and locking him up with a contract extension was a smart move by the Bears to secure a key piece of their defense moving forward. As we continue through training camp, it's becoming clear that the changes brought by the new coaching staff are having a tangible impact. Ben Johnson's offensive philosophies are already influencing how the Bears attack, focusing on pace, movement, and exploiting matchups on defense. Dennis Allen's schemes are making use of players' versatility and athleticism to create a dynamic unit that can adjust and adapt in game. The Bears are still a work in progress, but yesterday's physical practice and the emergence of players like Caleb Williams, Cohen Loveland, Azeal Trapillo, Tasheen Johnson, Ruben Hippley, and Kyler Gordon show that this team is headed in the right direction. The future looks brighter with each day of camp, and Bears fans have plenty of reasons to be excited as the preseason unfolds. As training camp progresses, it becomes increasingly clear that the Chicago Bears are in the midst of a transformation. Both on and off the field, the energy surrounding this team is palpably different from seasons past, infused with a fresh sense of optimism and the promise of potential that comes with new leadership and young talent beginning to gel. The coaching staff's commitment to instilling a culture of accountability and toughness is resonating throughout the roster. Each practice session brings more clarity to the roles players are expected to fill, and the players themselves seem hungry to prove their worth under the bright lights of NFL scrutiny. One of the most intriguing storylines emerging from camp is the ongoing quarterback competition. Caleb Williams, having displayed flashes of brilliance in earlier practices, is showing more consistency and command of the offense as the days go by. His ability to process defensive schemes on the fly and make quick, decisive throws has become more evident. This growth is crucial for a young quarterback navigating a new system and building chemistry with receivers who themselves are striving to establish a rhythm. Williams has been particularly adept at reading coverages, a skill that often separates the good quarterbacks from the great. He has started to anticipate blitzes and adjust protections, which speaks volumes about his football IQ and the work he's putting in off the field. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A curious murmur is beginning to stir around Hollis Hall, one that, if true, could signal a significant shake-up in the Bears' backfield. According to emerging whispers from sources close to the organization, head coach Ben Johnson may be growing increasingly uneasy with running back D'Andre Swift's role on the team, and some even suggest that the young head coach doesn't see Swift in his long-term plans for Chicago. While no official statement has been released, the signs of possible friction between Johnson and Swift have not gone unnoticed. Training camp has been underway for weeks, and although Swift remains on the depth chart, his presence during drills and his involvement with the offensive unit has been visibly reduced. Some observers have pointed out his lack of reps with the first team and a seemingly colder tone in Johnson's press conferences. When asked about the running back's progress, Ben Johnson, known for his strategic precision and creative offensive schemes from his days in Detroit, was thought to be a perfect match for a versatile, dual-threat back like Swift. After all, the two were together during Johnson's tenure as offensive coordinator with the Lions. where Swift had moments of brilliance but also stretches of inconsistency that shared history, however, might not be working in Swift's favor. If anything, Johnson may have seen enough during their time in Detroit to have already formed his verdict. There's been talk, albeit behind closed doors, that Johnson is pushing for a different type of backfield, one that emphasizes power, patience, and durability over finesse and flash. Swift, though undeniably talented, has battled injuries throughout his career and hasn't always been the model of reliability. For a new coach looking to build a tough, balanced offense, that might be reason enough to seek a new direction. Insiders have also hinted at philosophical differences between the two. Johnson's system places a high premium on discipline and consistent execution, and it's possible that Swift's playing style, sometimes more improvisational, doesn't quite align with the coach's vision. It's the sort of detail that doesn't always make the stat sheet but can loom large in meeting rooms and game planning sessions. What adds fuel to the speculation is the Bears' recent activity in the running back market. Though nothing has been confirmed, there have been quiet meetings with potential free agents, and some scouts have been spotted at college camps, a curious move given that Swift, at least on paper, is expected to be the lead back. The Bears also drafted a physical runner in the later rounds this year, and his workload has been steadily increasing through camp, drawing praise from coaches and teammates alike. For Swift, this situation isn't unfamiliar. Despite flashes of brilliance in Detroit, he was never fully embraced as a feature back, eventually being traded to Philadelphia, where he had a respectable but unspectacular stint. When the Bears acquired him, many fans saw it as a low-risk, high-reward gamble. Now, that gamble might not be paying off if Johnson is indeed cooling on Swift. What happens next becomes the big question. Would the Bears explore a trade before the season kicks off? Would Swift be relegated to a secondary role or even cut altogether? For a player with his pedigree, it's hard to imagine he wouldn't find interest elsewhere, but his trade value may not be particularly high at this stage of the preseason. It's also worth considering the locker room dynamics. Swift is reportedly well-liked among teammates, and any sudden move could ripple through the squad. Johnson, still in the early stages of establishing his culture, would have to weigh the potential fallout of moving on from a veteran player who still has supporters within the team. There's still time for things to shift. A strong preseason showing could alter perceptions. A frank conversation between coach and player might realign expectations. But the rumblings are there, subtle yet persistent, suggesting that DeAndre Swift's time in Chicago could be shorter than anyone anticipated. For now, it's just a rumor, but in the NFL, smoke often leads to fire. And in the Windy City, the breeze around Hollis Hall seems to be picking up. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.